even consider that all these 840 bags, they come in 1 kg setup. Okay. Now you are roughly getting 800 kgs of mushroom from here. Now this depends, okay? For every species, like if you're focusing on the, see, I don't want to talk about something that is not relevant to you. You guys need to start from the absolute basics. For example, oyster. The reason I would ask all of you to start with oyster mushroom is because they are really the learning curve for you. It will tolerate everything that you can do wrong to mushrooms and they still grow. And I think Suman over here and me, we both have been through this process of messing it all up. It happens. It happens to everybody. We touch the bags. We take care of it too much. Over care also ruins the crop. It's the same over here. But oyster mushroom is gonna be your savings grace. It is going to protect you from all the losses. Plus, it is also going to teach you how to grow mushrooms. Now, second is button, Agaricus bisporus. Now, button mushrooms are the most popular ones, at least in India, and I think that they sell for about, if even if you're selling it at bulk, it's gonna be 180 to 200 per kg. I mean, that is the cheapest I'm talking about. Like, let's say that your crop is not that good, something happened to it, it's not that white, maybe it's got some, I don't know, markings to it, it looks a bit brown. Even in that case, you can sell it for 180 to 200 rupees per kg. And last would be milky. Now, why are we discussing three different type of mushroom? Button mushroom is already the most important one. All you have to do is, एक second, huh? Hang on. Am I audible and visible at the same time? Yeah, but it would be much better if I do not turn on this because it kind of helps me with it. Anyways, let's get on with the process. So there are three different type of mushroom that you're going to be making money from: oyster, button, and milky. Now, why are we talking about three different species of mushroom? सबको एंड में जाके बटन ही उगाना है because people want the most money. Button will give you that. But the problem with button is that if you have a button mushroom ka setup, that requires AC, that requires humidifier, that also requires a lot of setup. Because if let's say that we live in Siliguri, Suman and me, fortunately, we live in Siliguri, so we have a demographical advantage over here. But people who are living in Maharashtra, who are living in a drier state, now they need to have a humidifier along with an AC. This is a mandatory for them. So the cost goes up. See, the whole point is I wouldn't suggest you something that I cannot do myself. So it's all about the whole truth. If you start off with oyster, this is the most forgiving one. You can sell them for 90 rupees per kg at bulk. This is the bulk rate. You can go fancy and you can even ask for like 100 and 110. Nobody would mind. Nobody is going to come after you. Now, why do we talk about three different species of mushroom? Now, button mushroom, they usually thrive in a colder area. Okay, a very cold, humid area. That is what button mushrooms expect you to do. Oyster, on the other hand, they are the most lowest maintenance one. You use any kind of straw. It could be paddy straw. It could be I don't know, wheat straw. You take the dried ones, chop it up in three centimeters, and then you pasteurize it. What is the process of pasteurization? Let's say this is your straw. Okay, this is your straw. Let's say that it comes in a bag. Now what you do is you take the straw, you soak it in water. This is completely optional. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You soak it in water for about 4 hours. If you have mold or fungal infections, In that case, you can soak it for 4 hours in some sort of fungicide. Bevistin usually works fine. Hydrogen peroxide also works fine. But again, it's completely optional. What you can do is you can directly take the straw and pasteurize it. Now, how do we pasteurize it? We आप लोगों ने कभी मोमो खाया है? Everybody knows what momo is, right? So मोमो में क्या होता है कि there is water over here. यहाँ से steam आता है. The steam will keep this area around 70 degrees Celsius for 45 to 1 hour, depending on how big your batch is. If you're going to be putting around like, I don't know, 10 kgs of dry straw, in that case, it will take you 1 hour. Or I think it could take you around 1.2 hour as well. It's very simple. You just need a thermometer for that. If you ask me what I use an IR thermometer. I use IR thermogun. This is gonna be saving you from unnecessary risk, because what happens in pasteurization, if you go beyond 80, if you go beyond 90, 100, in that case, the good bacteria along with the bad bacteria, both of them are dead, which we do not want. We want a stable substrate to have the cellulose and everything intact, and along with the good bacteria. Always remember, if you're completely making your spawn bag, your substrate bag completely devoid of any creature or any organism, in that case, it would be more susceptible to contamination. Now, starting off with what is contamination, I will explain all the terms as I speak. Now, contamination, uh-huh, uh-huh, hmm, hmm, yeah, 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 of course. At any point, if you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand, ask me. You just have to unmute yourself. I know that most of you guys must be uncomfortable, I don't know, like turning on your cameras. At least it's for me. So you guys can just ask the question and there's no problem about it. I'd happily answer. Okay, so I've got some questions from Aditya. Let's hear it.
Bro, are you also recording the same meeting? Because I have like not attended the first 10 minutes of the meet.
Okay, no worries. It's
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you so
oh,
much.
no worries. All right. So where were we? Yeah. So contamination. Contamination is a very important word that you guys are gonna get accustomed to. Now, what basically is contamination? It means diseases. It means unwanted microbial growth. This also means something that you do not want. Let's say, cockroaches and other kind of insects having get together on your bags and then infecting it. So mycelium, despite surviving in universe and on this planet, on its own their own, to be honest, they do have issues with certain certain fungi. For example, all these mushrooms that you're trying to grow, they have this phase where after you have set up the bags, now they will eat the cellulose and everything that is available in the substrate. Now, what happens in this case is some unwanted fungi spore, it would land on your bag. Like, let's say this is your bag, it lands on your bag. Now, your entire bag, instead of growing the mushroom that you would like to see, it won't grow any mushroom. And even if it does, it's not the one that you want. It will have a very foul smell. It will smell very sour. And the most important of all, you can also be infected with a lot of insect larvae. A couple of days ago, I think Sriram is here in the meeting with us. So he knows somebody, and in fact, we both were on a WhatsApp group, and we saw a lady. Everything was fine. The bag had one more issue. Okay, so consider this is the bag. The bag had fully colonized from top to bottom, but towards the end, the bottom area, it was losing the mycelium. This part was becoming brown, and the top part, it remained viable. What do I mean by that? It remained white. Now, these are the cases, these are the unwanted stuff that happens to you during mushroom cultivation. You guys can think of it as these are your bottlenecks, these are your problems. So, whenever people think about mushroom, okay, we're going to make so much money. Of course, you can make so much money. But where is the problem? The problem is contamination. The problem is unable to maintain the environment that the mycelium deserves, or they are designed to be growing. Okay, this is the problem with contamination. Now, first of all, how do you set up your bags? The most important question what everybody's been asking, that how do you grow mushrooms? Number, I'll make it very simple for you. You buy spawn bags, which are essentially the mushroom seed. Now, how much do you buy it for? Now it depends. There are different companies over here. In fact, Krishna Mushroom Spore Laboratory, we also sell spawn, and then there's Zushroom's Farm Tech. Even they sell spawn. There are other companies like BM Mushroom. There's Gachwala, and there are some other companies as well. Now, you might ask me that, okay, so you guys also sell spawn, why would you want other people, like all the farmers, to know about other companies? It's a very simple thing. Because when I was trying to grow mushrooms, I tried growing it from them. Now, the problem is, the more you experiment, the more you learn. If you are buying it from one particular sources and you're believing that, okay, this company is the best, that is not how it works. I personally would encourage myself and all the fellow mushroom growers to try out all the companies. The best ones, you'll figure it out by yourself. Whichever gives you the best flush, whichever gives you the best yield, you'll know that this particular company is doing a good job in this particular species. Now, coming back to the topic of how do we grow mushrooms, we take spawn bag. Now, second is we get our substrate. Now, what is substrate? Substrate is basically the paddy straw that we were talking about. It could be paddy straw, the dried ones, the byproduct from the field. It could be that thing as well. वो भुट्टा खाता है ना, the corn cobs. Yeah, the corn cobs. It doesn't have to be attached with the corn itself. Just the cobs are fine. Then you can also grow it on, depending on what species it is. If it's button mushroom, the one that everybody's interested in, then that requires a different setup. It has a vermicompost setup. Usually, in case of vermicompost, cow dung or vermicompost, it's added to the straw. Okay, it's added to the paddy straw. Once this is pasteurized, you're all set. Now, what is the process of pasteurization? It's the same thing. You boil something, you steam something. Basically, you keep the entire thing at a temperature of 70 degrees Celsius for 45, depending on if your batch is high, if your batch load is big, like let's say that you're talking about 20, 50 kgs. In that case, your pasteurization time would go up. But scientifically speaking, 45 minutes at 70 degrees at 70 degrees Celsius is pasteurization. Now, for the button mushrooms, there's another thing. So let's say that you have set up your bags. Okay, this is your bag, and here lies your vermicompost along with your paddy straw and your seeds. Okay, so you use this spawn. Now the spawn, what is a spawn bag? You can just Google it. I'll just Google it for you so that you guys don't have the same any other problem while you're doing it by yourself. All you have to do is just Google it. Any kind of spawn, just Google it. Oyster. They usually come in like plastic bags, and oh god, not this. So usually they come in bags like these. You can see the picture over here, right? So they look like this. This is your seed. This is your mushroom seed. You're gonna mix this with pasteurized substrate. Now, I already told you what is the process of pasteurization. All you have to do is keep the straw in 45 45 minutes at around 70 degrees Celsius, and you're good to go. Now, all the bad bacteria are dead, and the good bacteria are remaining over there. You mix the spawn, you keep it inside. Let's say that we are talking about oyster right now. In that case, this is the easiest one. You mix the substrate with the spawn, you keep it in the bag, you keep it in a cold dark area inside your 300 square foot room, and that's it. After 20 days maximum, okay, I'm talking about maximum, usually 15 to 20 days is the limit. In 15 to 20 days your entire bag is going to be colonized, and everything will look white. After 20 days, if you increase the humidity to 80 to 90%, you will see that your bags will have tiny growth like these. Now, these are called primordias. After you see the primordia, there's nothing to worry about. It's like you have done everything right, and now you can see your mushrooms. From this particular area, I think I have some picture to show. Hang on. Yeah. So from the primordia itself, you're gonna see structure like these happening. Now, what is this? This is the mushroom that grew from the primordia. And honestly, oyster is going to be the first mushroom for all of you. The reason is it will teach you how to grow mushroom. Everybody wants to get into button. Even I would recommend, yeah, of course, go for button. But directly starting with button is a terrible idea. Why? Because button mushrooms are very okay. There's more picture actually. Hang on. Okay, okay, forget about it. So after you see your primordia and then you see the growth of mushroom, you spray it with water, and then the structure grows. When you see that your flowers or your the petal like structures, they are slightly bent towards the ground, that is the perfect time to harvest them. Okay, once you harvest them, how do you sell and where do you sell? One of your best shot would be your local veggie vendor. Okay, second would be stores like these stores are not that popular. I mean, there are stores like Arambag, there are stores like M Bazaar, Reliance Smart. If you have a conversation with them, with them, they would be more than happy to have your mushrooms. I have already had a word with them, and they are completely fine because this comes under fresh produce. So it's completely fine if you want to sell it to them. Now, how much can you sell these for? That comes the interesting part. So let's say from your 300 square foot area, you have about 400 bags of 1 kg. Now, each if you're depending on the species, if it's oyster, you get about 100% bioefficiency, which means if your bags are like 840 kg, you're roughly getting 800 to 840 kgs of mushroom in multiple flushes. Okay. And what is the current selling rate of mushroom? Let's Google it. I don't want to assume. I don't want to put anything that I believe. Let's Google it. So they say that it sells for 150 to 400 kg. Okay, that's a very optimistic. It's a realistic number, but still, I'm gonna call it optimistic. So even if we think that you get or you sell it for 120 rupees per kg, how much is that gonna be? It comes down to 96,000. Okay. Now, is this 96,000 for the entire year? No. I think towards the beginning, I mentioned that in an entire year, you can have 9 crops. So, 96,000 into 9. Your yearly revenue, it's gonna be 8.6 lakh just from a 300 square foot area. This is the money we are looking for. So in a 300 square foot area, this is what you can expect. 8 lakh, 8.6 lakh. Now this is your total revenue. The cost of setting up per bag, it's too low. The straw itself for 1 kg bag, hang on, for 1 kg bags, straw, how much straw do you think you would need? It would take about 3 rupees worth of straw plus, let's say, if your spawn is fresh, in that case you would need about 10 rupees worth of spawn, and then this is your total initial cost for setup. Okay, this is the entire cost for the setup. Now imagine, even if you consider all the miscellaneous ones, like let's add another 5 rupees. Okay, which includes, previously we used to do it from gas, but now we recommend people doing it using like how do you call it? Have you seen those things? I think पुराने दिनों में people used to use for dipping it in water, like the water warmers, बाल्टी में डाल के Philips Bajaj ऐसा मिलता है. So all these things, that thing you put it in water and use it to pasteurize. So even considering the electric bill and everything, chalk, वगैरह, everything, your setup per bag, it's gonna be 18 rupees, and per bag it's gonna give you mushrooms worth of 90 rupees. So let's round it off to 20. Okay, 20 rupees is your cost of setup, and then your selling price is 90, which is way cheaper than what internet says. Internet says that we can charge them 120 to 150, but I am taking consideration of everybody, so let's think of it as 90. Still, you are making a 70 rupees profit per bag. And what do you have to do for growing mushrooms? You need to maintain two things. Number one is temperature, second is humidity. That's it. And you have to maintain darkness. Don't keep your farm dirty. So these are the four things that you need to follow. And if you follow these four things in a particular room, whatever it is, it could be a 300 square foot area, it could be a 3000 square foot area, you can have mushrooms. Now, yeah, I mean, of course, why would you keep your only farm dirty, right? This is the whole point. If you maintain these four things, okay, that's it. That's it, guys. That's the end of it. You can make infinite money from this. Now, that would be a lie if I say that infinite money, because that thing does not exist. But a realistic income would be 8.6 lakh revenue. And I said that cost of production is 20, right? So 20 into 840 bags, it's 16,800. We are going to take it as 17,000 as approximation. So 8.6 lakh is your profit, like is your revenue, minus 20,000. I'll be more generous, okay? Let's say that you have messed up everything and still we are gonna start over and everything. So we're gonna deduct 20,000 from here. So your profit comes down to 8.4 lakh. And why did you get this 8.4 lakh at the end of year? Because you maintained couple of things. Number one, the temperature, depending on what species it is, you maintain the temperature according to its need. Second is the humidity. You maintain the humidity. Third is you maintain darkness. You are not like me. You did not touch your bags. You let them have some peace and free time to colonize and do their job. And fourth is you kept your farm clean. That's it, guys. If you follow these four things, you can have 8.4 lakh by the end of this year. And this is just from 300 square foot. If you have 3000 square foot, just multiply it with 10. That's it. And you can see what happens. There are more questions. Even yesterday, me and Amrita, we were having a conversation on where to sell the mushrooms. She was going through the same issue. The best, another one that I would like to mention is from the online services. It's India Mart. In case you don't want to talk to your local veggie vendor is not kind to you, she's gone. Arambag, they do not let you, so you come home sad. Now Reliance Mart, they also said your mushrooms look weird, we are not going to be able to sell it, gone. But India Mart will never say no to you. They will charge you 32K plus GST, but they guarantee you 10 bulk customers every week for 1 year, of course. And this is the minimum. They can even give you 12, 15 bulk customers every week, and they're going to buy something like 4 kgs, 5 kgs, 6 kgs, depending on what enterprise that they are. Maybe they are in like I don't know, maybe they are the restaurant facility themselves, so they can buy even bulk. They could buy at a more higher amount compared to the local ones, there's like the soup factories and all. So this is exactly how you grow mushrooms, and you can make about 8.4 lakh. Yes, yes, please. Hang on, let's see the questions.
Yeah, I also heard that India Mart also provides chart accountant.
Okay, yeah,
Is
about
that
this
true?
deal, yeah, of course, I'll make this clear about the India Mart. Where is India Mart? Okay, forget about it. We'll start here. So India Mart charges you 32K plus GST, but it gives you a couple of facilities. Number one is it's gonna give you your 10 bulk customer per week. Second is they offer you, there's an app called Khata Book or something. They offer you a free account there. So if you take that as consideration, you may Khata book free account. Third would be they give you a personalized CA, because they I mean, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is grow your mushrooms and focus on the health of your mushroom. They will do the job for you. Now, another question is, why do we grow mushroom? Why can't we grow any other crop? Why specifically mushroom? Reason is you don't need a lot of area for this, because the more the area is, if your area is a really large space, it would be difficult for you to maintain the humidity and temperature. This is why I always ask people to start with oyster. When you have decent enough money, move to buttons, and then you can move to other species, but always start with oyster. Second is milky. Your third preference should be button. In case of drama, button is going to be the most dramatic one, but they also sell for pretty high, so I guess that's justified. Milky, it's a seasonal crop. You should grow them during the summer. Button is always a winter crop. Oyster, almost like 12 months. They are the most resilient one. They will be your teacher. They will do everything for you. Button sell for about 90 rupees at bulk. Milky sells for Sriram. How much does Milky sell for? I think you have successful Milky batches, right? Could you please share it with us? Hello, Sriram, are you there? Okay, no worries. Button, it sells for 180 to 200 rupees per kg. That is the cheapest that we are talking. Okay, cheapest. Milky is also around. I mean, if you check online, because see, I only go deal with the realistic idea. If you Google it right now, Milky sells for 350 rupees near Siliguri. I know there must be somebody who sells it for cheaper, but this is what internet tells us. And also according to the availability, this is what I came up with: 350 rupees. Now, what is the problem? Milky takes a lot of time to grow. Button does not take that much time to grow. I think that is why the prices of button is it's a bit low compared to Milky. And but again, it all depends on your quality. One thing that everybody needs to know when it comes to mushroom farming is that you have to be honest to your crop. You cannot add any kind of chemicals and expect, okay, so like the pestilence won't get you. The pestilence will still get you even if you apply the fanciest or the most expensive chemicals. In the end, it all boils down to one question: is your farm clean? Did you maintain the temperature? Did you maintain the humidity? If you have, voila, you have mushrooms. You have mushrooms to sell. And see, you can sell it to anybody. If you have fresh, good mushrooms, you can sell it to literally anybody. India Mart is there, all the local vendors are there. But you need to have that fresh mushroom. For that, Suman and me, after going through our own struggles of growing mushroom, I mean, I am from research background, and Suman has done his maths. I mean, he's been from like Hansraj College. So of course, you guys can understand that why are we doing mushrooms? Reason is money. Mushrooms are the only crop that would give us the opportunity to have our personal life, where we can grow in our career, where we can do whatever we want to do, and this would be like a passive income. Another thing why we chose mushroom is because of the time. Suman and me, we both have our careers to plan, and we are still doing it. So we need to invest about 14 hours there. And then what about mushrooms? We do not even look at it. After the bags are colonized, we let the bags be for 10-15 days. We are not even touching it. We are not looking at it. We are just looking if the temperature and humidity is maintained, and if the room is dark. That's it. After 21 days, we will start with the fruiting process. And again, you are not doing anything for the mushroom. The mushrooms are doing the things for you. Your only job was to set up the bag and keep your farm clean and dark. That's it. You maintain the environmental condition, you will get mushroom throughout the year. You can even grow button, milky, and oyster throughout the year. But again, you would need AC, you would need humidifier, you would need dehumidifier. And again, I do not want to increase the price of something which does not have to be. Why do you want to fight nature? In summer, just grow milky. You don't have to worry about it. Why do you have to grow? I mean, I don't know what is this thing called. Yeah. So why do you have to grow button mushrooms in summer? Don't challenge nature. Go with the nature. So plan things accordingly. In winter, you grow button. In summer, you grow milky. Now comes the most important topic before I would like all the questions to come. Have you guys ever heard about medicinal mushroom? There are multiple types of medicinal mushroom. Shiitake, maitake, cordyceps militaris, which is pretty popular. I think there was a movie about it. It's called The Last of Us, and somehow the fungus it survived above the 32 degrees Celsius and they infected the entire planet, which is exactly how they infect insects. But would you like to know something interesting about this? Cordyceps sells for rupees 1 lakh per kg. Shiitake and maitake, both of them are equally expensive. You do not have to believe my words. Just Google it. Let's Google it myself because I don't want you guys to remember anything that is unnecessary. So we'll do it with you. What is the cost of shiitake mushroom in India? Of course, it varies, but it is 208 rupees per kg shiitake, which is very easy to grow. You know, carpenters, उनके पास जो सब मतलब the wood shavings and all, you just have to ask these people, give me the hardwood shavings, and you can get your substrate from there for the shiitake, and you're selling it for 208 rupees per kg. अभी आपके पास कितना था? The area that you had, it allowed you for 200 for kitna bag, sorry, I have to check. Let's check how many bag was it. 840, my bad. So from a 300 square foot area you set up 840 bags, and even let's say the bioavailability kam hua, फिर भी you are making like 700 with a 70% bioavailability. Now what does this 70% bioavailability means? It means अगर 1 kg का बैग बिठाया तो यहाँ से कितना kg मशरूम आएगा? अगर 1 kg ही मशरूम आया तो it means 100% bioavailability. Okay, so अगर 70% हम लोगों ने लिया तो what is 840 का 70%? 588 bags. If this is our case, then you end up with 588 kgs of shiitake mushroom. And उन्होंने कितने में सेल किया? I think 208. तो we are gonna be good people. We are gonna sell it for 200 rupees. So कितना आता? You are still making 1,17,600 per crop per cycle. एक साइकिल मतलब एक बार बैग बिठाया, you are making 1,17,000 from this. अभी साल में तुम कितना बिठा सकते हो? Let's say you only do like 6. You're not even that good. You're only doing 6 batches. Okay, you're still making 7 lakh from a 7 lakh from a 300 square foot area. And best part is You can still do it 6 times a year. This is what you are doing. Now imagine if you have like more than 300 square foot area, आप कितना mushroom बना सकते हो? How many mushroom bags you can set up? Different species, you can have them all. You can have all the money. But again, as long as you maintain the temperature, humidity, and you keep your carbon dioxide levels down or high, depending on what species it is. It varies from species to species. If you maintain these four things, you can have any mushroom and you can sell them from anywhere you want. These are the only four things you need to worry about. You do not have to worry about courses, you do not have to worry about money, you do not have to worry about contamination. If you worry about these four things, you are good to go. Abhi contamination losses. I before I end this session, I also want everybody to have the standard knowledge about contamination. So imagine contamination is like losses of bag. Statistically speaking, no matter how good your setup is, if you set up 100 bags of mushroom, then usme se 10% could go wrong, which is the worst case scenario. Nothing can go worse than that. This is like the worst happening. Imagine I ask you to go get some warm water, turn on, matlab, and then you instead of boiling the water, you blew up the entire house because you forgot that the gas was on. You that kind of mess up. Even in that case, you're only losing 10% of your crop. You still have 90 bags intact, which will give you 90 kgs of mushroom in 100 bags. I'm talking about that. So you can still sell them for 90 into 90, 810 rupees. That's it, and you are done. And I hope you remember that your total bags are like 840. So 840 into 90, 75,000. Sorry, 75,000. Yeah, 75,000. This is the money that you're gonna see from a 300 square foot area. Abhi, if you have 3,000 square foot, just multiply it with 10. Then you make 7 lakh and 50,000 rupees. Now, Suman and me, after going through the difficulties of growing mushroom ourselves, we decided that we want to help people who are actually serious about uh, getting this mushroom thing going, because it's really easy. If I can do it, you can do it as well. We are not traditional farmers. We know science, we know how to Google, we know how to ask for help when things go bad. That's it. If you maintain these three things, you can have your mushroom setup anywhere in India. At this point, I would like any of you to give me some question that you might have about regarding starting of this cultivation. What do you have? Do you have any questions for me? That's what.
Yeah, Ankit, I'm having one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, suppose if we are growing like a mushroom into a 1200 of square feet of area, right? So on the initial
300
phase,
square
how
foot
much?
area.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So on the initial phase, like how much investment do we need for that?
Okay, so let's say that you have a 300 square foot area and it's like a room. Okay, can I imagine
Exactly.
like a room chat ke saath? Does it have a roof like above your head? Do you have a roof above your head?
No.
Okay, so tin ka construction, I think that would cost you 20K. If you do not have a roof, you just have walls, then 20K for your tin setup, and then you have to buy a humidifier, because for the fruiting stage you would need a humidifier. For regulating the temperature in winter, you might also need a thermostat. Now, how much does these come to? A humidifier would cost you around say 10K rupees. Okay, that is like the standard price. And I'm talking about the cheap ones, I'm not talking about the expensive ones. For a thermostat, it would cost you around 5k rupees. So total of 35k is your basic requirement. You have to add 5k worth of ropes, or I think that comes for much cheaper. But if you're doing the entire setup based on rope, still 5k 5000 INR is the maximum you can spend on infrastructure, specifically when it comes to rope. Baki rest of these tin and all, if you have like a room, a proper room, you don't have to worry about anything. You can directly start with the growing process.
Okay, suppose I'm having an open
So,
area, right?
uh like open area, like a field or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, if you ask me, so Suman and me, we have this thing where we help farmers to build the setup as well. So, what tin rehta hai na, the tin that people
Yeah,
use for
exactly.
on the top of their building. So
Hmm.
you get it for much cheaper. Okay, you use that thing to create a basic setup. ऐसा tin लगा के
Okay.
ऊपर भी ऐसा tin लगा. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it
So
is.
you create a structure where you have a door like thingy, and here's the entrance for air, and here's the exit, like the exhaust. And I think the structure would cost you 30-40, depending on how much your labor is going to charge you. I mean, those are the variables, right? But if
Okay.
you're talking about materials and all, you would definitely need a humidifier and you would need a thermostat. Now, traditionally you would go for a humidifier and this would charge you 10k. But if you listen to us and not make that mistake of buying 10k humidifier, you can get an ultrasonic humidifier. This is the hardware part, okay? Ultrasonic humidifier for 5.5k. Now, this is how you save the money. Suman and me, we came up with the idea of this course where we are going to charge people around 3,000, but in this money, we are taking care of all these problems. For example, you can save the money from humidifier. Normally, if you go for it, you ask Google, give me the best example. Or even if you ask ChatGPT or AI, give me then how do I humidify my room? They would suggest you a humidifier, which is a 10k item. You don't need that. Why would you need that? And if you use a professional humidifier, it will go bad in like 4 to 5 months because the electronics will go bad. These humidifiers are meant for room, but we need for mushroom growing. For example, we need to have humidity of around 80 to 90%. So an ultrasonic humidifier works wonder for us. Thermostat, same story. You use a heater. If you ask Google, they would push you for this thermostat, which costs you 5,000 INR. But if you use the same logic from us, like after making the mistakes, now we are using the cheaper versions. I think the thermostat that we use, it cost us 750 rupees. I'm still talking about the high end thermostat. Okay, you can go for cheaper ones as well. So if you go for the course, then we do these technical things for you. You just have to tell us the area. We tell you how exactly what. Basically, we spoon feed you for this 300, for this 3,000 scores. After this course, if you're interested, you don't have to. I don't want you to take, honestly. Other courses from BM Mushroom and Gajwala, they are charging you about 35,000. And honestly speaking, the reason why we are offering it for so cheap that it sounds scam is because we don't want other mushroom farmers to go through what we got through when we started growing initially. We wasted a lot of money. For example, me, I run a spawn lab. I wasted finances on getting a BOD incubator. Now you guys might know, I'll come to that in some future webinars. But in the process of spawn, the seed production, you need something to stabilize the temperature. Now there's a thing called BOD incubator. I bought it. It costed me something like 6,000. But after it came to my home, I realized that I can only regulate the temperature from 30 degrees Celsius and not 26. So that is a different kind of incubator. So these are the mistakes. Now I can't ask my company to take it back, right? So I've already made the mistake and I've learned from it. But after learning it, I don't want other customers to ever go through that. This is why it's like a free webinar so that people can get to know about mushrooms. If they are interested in growing mushrooms, why not? Of course, go for it.
So which incubator you are using right now for that?
So right now we do not need any incubator in Siliguri. Reason is uh, the demographical advantage. I already have, if I maintain the temperature and humidity, I am transforming my entire incubation room area into an incubator. So I
Okay.
have two rooms. Okay, I'll make it very simple for you. I think I have my lab design somewhere over here. See, as a farmer, you don't have to worry about all these things. Okay, you just need to you understand the process, right? You get your straw, you pasteurize it, you mix it with the spawn, keep your hands clean, stuff it in the bag, forget about the bags. After 21 days, you see your bags are colonized. You increase the humidity, and then you start fruiting. You sell it to your people. This is all you have to do. This
Like,
is the
and
whole point of the whole meeting.
how much time does it does this cycle takes like overall?
So overall, if I'm being honest with you, it takes about 21 days for your like the maximum worst case scenario. You always plan for the worst. In 21 days, your bags are gonna be fully colonized, and in by 30 or 35 day, you're probably harvesting your second flush.
So
Now it depends on
in
yeah.
21 days, like that is ready to sell material, you were saying.
In 21 days your bags are fully colonized, and the pins, the primordial pins, they have started. And if you keep spraying them with water, you're ready to sell. Mushrooms are going to be there in like 4 to 5 days. So 26 days is the day when you
Okay.
get your first
We
harvest.
can take in 30 days of the span, right?
Yeah, 26 days is like, I'm still being generous. 26 days, it does not take that long if you maintain the
Okay. After
temperature and
20 days,
humidity.
after 26 days, like it will be ready to sell in the market, right?
Yeah. Your mushrooms are ready. You're selling, you
Okay.
are harvesting your mushrooms, and you can sell it right away.
If you don't mind, can I ask like how much investment did you make in that two rooms in which you are growing?
So if you ask about, so I do not do mushroom farming. My only job is to do mushroom spawning. Like, I prepare the seed. Suman does what do you call it? Suman does the farming part. Like, you guys will do the farming part. I
Got
sell
you.
the seeds. So in my 300 square foot area, I have a total capacity of 840 bags. And my ceiling is pretty high. My ceiling is around like 9 feet, so I can even have like another layer of bags. So instead of 840, it can even go up. But still, for the sake of maths, I'm going to make it easy for everyone. So imagine, I have at full capacity, I can keep about 1,000 bags in my 300 square foot area. And the bioavailability is also 100%. So in worst case scenario, let's say that I lose 10% of my crop to contamination, I'm still left with 900 bags, right? Now I can sell these 900 bags at a bulk rate of 90 rupees. How much does it come down to? 81.
81,000
Yes. And इसमें से मेरा what do you call it? The cost of
investment.
investing things. See, when you buy things in bulk na, specifically straws and all, the cost actually goes cheap. अभी couple of days ago, ये mill होता है ना, the mill, people buy rice and that thing from, they chop it up for animal feed. So that thing costs you 10 rupees per kg of straw. It's extremely small, like very minute. The straw is almost like a bit bigger than dust, to be honest. That thing costs you 10 rupees per kg. Yes. Suman here, Suman here got straw from somewhere. I don't. I think he. Suman, কোথা থেকে কিনেছিলিস তুই? Yeah. So he got. Yeah. Uh-huh. But you know what? Like the point that Suman mentioned is very important. So let's say in Siliguri, like Suman and me, we live in Siliguri, okay? So for us, getting paddy straw is much cheaper. We can get it for like, imagine, worst case scenario, we get it for 5 rupees per kg, double the price. But still, let's consider it 5 rupees per kg. Now 5 kg, sorry, 5 rupees per kg. Now 1 kg of straw becomes 2.5 kg when it's wet. So it means that you can make 2.5 bags from 1 kg of dry straw. Okay. Now coming to our problem. So 5 rupees it was here, right? So 2.5 अगर bag हमारा बन रहा है, so the cost of your straw is also going down. It goes down below 2 rupees, like sorry, 2.5 rupees, which is completely doable. Just think about it. Worst case scenarios, you have still invested 2.5 rupees worth of straw per kg of bag. How much was your spawn? 10 rupees. And including everything. If your spawn is fresh, you have to use lesser amount. Normally the ratio is around 900 grams of wet straw plus 100 grams of spawn. This is the ratio, and you end up with 1 kg of prepared bag. Okay. So from this 1 kg, you'll get another 1 kg of mushroom. Worst case scenario, you're still picking around 900 grams of mushroom, and you can sell it. That's it. You make money. So what is your total cost now? 10 rupees and either ka. So worst case scenario, you're investing 12.5 rupees of just raw materials in your bag. Plus, जैसे मैंने बोला था, like 5 rupees of worth of electricity, I don't know, like chemicals, blah blah blah, I don't know. You went out with your friends and you're putting it in the business के खाते में. So सब कुछ मिला के you're still adding like 5 रुपए extra to your cost. It comes down to 17.5 rupees, and I took an estimate of 20 rupees. It's still the same thing. Yes. Mhm. It is a very nutritious fungi to be consuming. Like you should, everybody should consume it, but technically in India, it's not that popular yet. The reason why we can make money from this is because people do not have much awareness. We can take advantage of that. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It gives you iron. It gives you nutrition. It gives you protein. It's easy to digest. Helps you with your gut bacteria. It protects your. Some of the mushrooms like lion's mane, they even have like anti-tumor properties. So somebody who smokes, they can have some some of the what do you call it, lion's mane, and they actually will have a lesser chance of developing tumor in future. Protein powder. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. And this the interesting part. One thing I would like to mention, someone, it's the demand. Even if, let's say that right now tonight somehow some magical thing happened, and probably like 2000 new farmers show up right tonight, even they cannot meet the demand. The demand is too high. If you provide fresh mushroom in Siliguri, I'll tell you. So maybe in the next video or some other session, I'm going to talk about the spawning process. It's all about collecting the species. In here in Siliguri, we are going through a much difficult time just because we cannot collect the mushroom. People aren't aware of it. There's a particular species of mushroom called pink oyster. It's the fastest growing one. In 12 days or in 13 days, you might actually start seeing your primordials. And once your primordials are up, दो से तीन दिन में you can start your harvesting. And they give you 4 to 5 flash if you want to carry it. But if you want me scientifically answering it, do not go beyond third flash. It's too much. It is basically you're wasting your time. Throw the bags away, and nothing goes to waste in mushroom. Everything from start to end, it could be reused. Your bags, what do you do to your bags after you're done with growing the mushrooms? Do you throw them? No, you give it to the vermicompost. You add what do you call that, earthworms to it, and then it becomes vermicompost. And all those nurseries, people who are trying to grow plants in areas where the soil is not that good, it does wonders for them. They buy it for I think they buy it for 15, 16 for the cheapest price. Some people even buy it from Amazon for about 20, 30 rupees per kg. It's soil. Soil comes free. You're making soil expensive just by adding this compost unit that you're mix. The bags, after they are done, you just throw them away. Instead of throwing them away, you mix it with the soil and the earthworms. That's it. You made soil expensive. Imagine that. And the product, there are multiple product ideas. You can go for dried mushroom, which increases the shelf life as well. Protein powders, there's tea, there's lion's mane. You can have your own setup, you can make your own dishes, crispy mushrooms, blah blah blah. There's so much opportunity.
Yeah, Ankit, actually, I'm from Rajasthan. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
is there any specific instrument or something that I need according to the atmosphere of
You do
Rajasthan?
not need anything specific. See, Aditya, the basic thing is still the same. Okay, as long as you maintain the humidity, temperature, and cleanliness, okay, you will receive fruiting. Unless you keep your bags in a very dirty area where mice is coming up and they're eating up your bags, your cat is throwing up on your bag, some sort of house flies are doing some sort of thing to your bag. Now you have multiple larvae. This is what you have to avoid. But other than that, trust me, I have grown mushroom. I wouldn't lie to you. I have always been a kind of person who likes honesty. This is why I do not want you to listen to me jabbering all the way. Ask me anything at any point. People from Rajasthan are already doing mushroom. You're not the first person there.
No, no, yeah, I know
You
that.
Yeah, so it's really easy. And instead of, what my job is to make you avoid paying more for the setup. Because if you have joined this session and you're bearing my voice for so long, if definitely you're interested in growing mushrooms, right? So that's the whole point. I'm trying, my job is to make you avoid like it's unnecessary expenses. You're avoiding that. That would be my job. But your job is to just keep the temperature, humidity, and cleanliness. If you maintain these three things, that's it. Forget about your bags. Go live your life for 14 days. After 14 days or 15 days, check up on your bags. Come back, see the if fruiting it's ready for fruiting. Even when the fruiting stage starts, you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna sing to it. You don't have to take special care of it. Nothing. Just your humidifier ka setting mein, instead of 70%, you set it up to 90%. That's it.
Okay, and every 20 days cycle, we can again start with a new thing.
Aram se, depending on what species you are growing. If you're growing oyster, that is the fastest one. Pink oyster would be the fastest one. Within 12 days, you're seeing primordials
Okay.
and
And what
fruiting
is
and
the
all whatnot.
market price of pink oyster?
But if you can sell it for higher, because people don't buy, people normally they don't have that idea that a pink oyster exists. You know, the Florida oyster or the blue oyster, all these oysters, these are basically oyster species only. They sell for 90 to 100 to 120, 130. If it looks exotic, you can sell it for higher. But I don't recommend you doing that. I want the entire, because see, you're joining a community. I
Mm-hmm.
want all of us to be honest with each other and build a community where you can help me and I can help you. In your worst days, we are gonna be the family who's gonna take care of your farm. And
So
in
that is the
our
bulk
case, if
price you are
something,
telling me.
yeah, the bulk price. And you know, right? Even if you touch your product, you can increase the price. If you what chicken popcorn hota hai na, it comes in pre-packaged, right? Frozen chicken
Exactly.
popcorn. All you have to do is put it in your air fryer, fry it. Same thing. You take the mushroom, coat it in some batter, put some panko or some breadcrumbs, and voila, you have another product to sell. And you can sell them for much higher.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure. Just give me. Yeah, there is my WhatsApp. Okay, that also works fine. Zushroom dot. Oh, Zushroom.com. My apologies. This one, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. The mushroom. This one is different. Okay, no worries. Yeah. Dear God, Geo is acting up again. Anyways, yeah. Mhm. I'll give you a bit of I'll just give you a bit of overview about the course. So in the course right now, Aditya, we mentioned about this thing, right? The temperature and humidity. But what temperature and what humidity? Internet says something else because I tried growing mushrooms, and basically I do mushrooms because I have to collect the sample to make it into agar plates and tissue culture. Okay, so my job is different. But again, it's the same thing. I had to grow mushroom. So instead of, we don't want you guys to go through the same mistake that we did. So in this 3-day workshop, we are going to teach you what exact temperatures, what exact humidity to keep. if your room looks good enough, you can be with us on a video call, and you can show us the setup. So we are basically going to be there with you throughout the process till your fruiting is done. And once you're done with fruiting, you're going to be like, okay, I know how to do mushrooms. That's the thing. Instead, we don't want you to pay 35,000, 45,000, or something like which the other companies are charging. I don't even know why they're charging so much. Anyways, I'm not going to say I'm better than them. This is why I've always asked people, try it, try us, try them, try everybody. Whichever you feel best, go for it.
Yeah. Yes, that was informative.
Okay. I guess that's it. We are done here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's a wrap.
Thank you, Ankit. Thank you so much, Suman.
Thank you. Bye bye.